Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. Before we get into this review of The Predator, I just want to let you know about our sponsor. It's a movie called Sir John A. and the Curse of the Antiquench. You can check that out on iTunes, Amazon, or wherever you get your movies. All right, we're going to get into our 10-minute review of Predator now. All right, Predator.
I did not like it.
Didn't like it, eh?
No.
You and everyone else.
But apparently you did.
I should clarify. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just that I was like, like I didn't hate it, and I was entertained at the movies, which is what the movies is for. Right?
True. Now I can appreciate movies of just like, this was fun. This one, there was just too many things that happened throughout that I felt like was just it wasn't. There's so many weird things, like the predator dogs.
But that was in the Robert Rodriguez.
Right, but that's not the. I'm not saying them themselves. At one point, it's just like, oh, he's good now. Why would they just let him go? That's my question.
I don't know, man.
They just let him go. Why not just finish him off? Like it's a dangerous. You know what? Now that he's lobotomized, he's fine. We'll just leave him alone now. And that didn't make sense to me. This kid learning this completely alien language, like really
that was actually
quickly.
believable. I believe that because he had a disability.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
According to the movie logic,
he's special, right? Like he's autistic, therefore he knows.
He's autistic,
alien
so now he knows that and how to code Facebook.
Okay, fine. Okay, maybe that's not the worst thing. What about scientist? All of a sudden grabs a gun and just starts chasing the predator like she's a super soldier.
Yeah,
what about that, Adam?
That was believable.
That is not believable at all. Oh, let's get a way out of here. Let's grab the exact amount of motorcycles in this freaking facility. Oh, look, there's a bunch of motorcycles right here. Let's ride. What? A lot of things in the movie they didn't seem to fit.
They seemed all random, and I've heard like rumor mill stuff like that Shane Black kind of set out to make a shit movie after.
Really?
Because there was controversy around he hired a friend of his who I don't know who.
Yeah, there was the whole sexual allegation from that friend of his.
Yeah, no, it wasn't an allegation. It was like a legitimate, like he was a
bad dude.
Registered sex offender.
Okay.
But and then so that guy had a part in the movie that might have been important, but then they also had to like cut around it.
I didn't think it wasn't that big of a deal. It's just like how they introduced one of the small characters easily. That wasn't the big thing about the movie. That is not a make it or break it part. The ending is clearly been like rehashed and kind of
redone a few times.
Even the defeat of the last Predator just felt like, really? That's it? That's what they okay.
There's also like the baddie, like the black guy who is I don't know,
that
the government
swears
agent.
a lot. Why does everyone swear so much? I get they're swearing. It's an R-rated movie, but like even the scientist, she shows up and like first words she's like, "Beautiful motherfucker." I'm like, who talks like that?
Because it's like they're doing the riff on the "you ugly motherfucker."
I know, but it's just not for her. Like it felt so out of character for her specifically.
Especially Olivia Munn, but
right.
I mean, I was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do there. I didn't mind. I was like, okay, this is what we're doing.
But like, just there's a lot of F-bombs in that. Even the comedy made like the repertoire, the like back and forth like dialogue between like all the veterans.
And the
Michael,
ragtag group.
What's his name? Michael Keegan.
Key and Peele.
Yeah, the Peele from the Key and Peele. He wasn't that funny.
You didn't find it funny? I thought
did
he was
not
funny.
find it funny. There was a couple of lines. Everything else seemed very childish, and I was like, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know.
really?
I remember laughing out loud in the theater. I went by myself. And it was just,
that says a lot about the movie.
Yeah.
No one else wanted to go with you.
No, all my other friends had seen it, and I just didn't want to be home while my girlfriend was having
Makes
some
sense.
Tupperware party or something. And so going to Predator, better than a Tupperware party. I'll tell you that right now.
You know what? I would probably watch that movie over a Tupperware party, sure. But that's a low. That's a low
bar.
Yeah, that's a very low bar. I don't know. There's just a lot of things about the movie that I ended up with. I was just like, oh, okay, that was the movie. I felt weird afterwards. I was just like, okay. Like I expected more, and I went in there with barely any expectations because I knew it was gonna.
But what were you expecting? Like you'd seen the original Predator, like the
But
original
this is
Predator.
Shane Black.
Yeah,
I mean, I
guess-
really enjoyed. Like, I guess I had higher hopes because
of
it's
the
Shane
other
Black.
guys and because
Yeah.
of Iron Man 3.
Exactly. He should have made something better.
Yeah,
Is all
we're
I'm
disappointed
saying.
in him.
Yes, and then there was that weird like end scene, and like one of the guys in the tree and the other guys at the bottom, and they're like pointing guns at each other. And you're like, what is this movie?
They
What is
had
happening?
a suicide pact, or like,
What?
yeah.
But it's just done so weirdly. The tone seemed off for what the movie's trying
Oh,
to do.
for sure.
I get like they're trying to, bring back like there is comedy in the original Predator, but like this felt more like it almost felt like a parody of the movie of just like what is happening here. Like the tone is off. The music I felt was off at some points. You're like, am I watching Star Wars or am I watching Predator? I don't know. A lot of things felt off to me. The atmospheric feeling of the film felt. It didn't feel right, and I think right from the beginning with the spaceship chase at the beginning, kind of I don't know. It threw me off from the beginning of like trying to understand where they're going with this, and then like the crash, and you're like, okay, I'm back into this, and then throws me off again. It kept bringing me in the right direction. I'm like, okay, finally, we're gonna get something. And then throws me off completely with a different scene that doesn't make sense, or the characters don't make sense, or it felt. I don't know. It almost feels like a DC movie where it feel like you're missing half an hour.
Did the kid full on murder somebody, by the way? Like when he's wearing the mask and then that guy
Yes,
is
no,
like,
he 100% did. And you know what? That's probably my favorite part of the movie.
I thought it was like that was one of the times I laughed out loud. I was like, "Oh,
Right?
he killed
Me
that guy."
Too, me too. I thought that part was actually kind of great because of the fact that it's like, oh my god, like there's just been a giant explosion. It was unexpected.
Yeah.
For sure. And I really enjoyed that part. Does it fit within the whole movie of like where it's going with tone? No, it messes up the tone still. Like that's one of the problems with it. But I still enjoyed that part because of how completely random it is.
Did you see the Danny Glover movie?
I never saw, I only saw Predator.
Okay, so
and Alien versus
So
Predator.
the
Those are the
Danny
only two
Glover
movies.
movie comes out in like 1991, but it's set in like an alternate future, like 1997.
Of course.
So I thought like maybe they would continue that. I wish other people would come back from the
Right,
old movies.
right.
And even if it's like the lady that escaped, like the chick that got to the chopper and then she's like, I don't know, on a video telling like a story like about the Predator or
Well, speaking of like things of coming back, I thought Arnold was the secret weapon at the end. Like I had this deep down, like, is like the Terminator just gonna pop up here? Like I feel like that's where
But
we're
it's-
going with this
it's-
movie at this point.
it's like Transformer. Like,
that was
suit.
a weird ending.
It
You have to
was.
admit, like it felt like okay, now there's a franchise. I don't think it's gonna make anywhere, and the suit looked weird, and it was a very weird tone. Like you're telling me this guy's in charge now?
I don't know. I think like they have a way they wasted a bit of things like maybe having Danny Glover come back or maybe having Arnold come back.
I want to see the original cut of this movie. I want to see the original ending that people apparently didn't like. Like, how is this better than what was previously? That's what I want to know. I don't know. Like, I still like it was a nice waste of time. There was
what I
some
say.
great moments to it.
That's
Like the explosion, but as a whole, it doesn't stand up, and as a whole, it definitely doesn't stand up at all to the first Predator. I even prefer Alien versus Predator to this one.
I actually really like Alien versus Predator, which we've done on this podcast.
We've done on the, I don't know, it has a better feel than this movie, even though it's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, which you got to do R if you're gonna do.
Yet they messed it up on this one. I thought it went too, I don't know.
If
lot
they
of
make
weird
another
things to me.
Predator movie, are you gonna go see it?
I would wait for it to hit whatever it hits streaming wise.
Yeah. eh?
Hopefully Netflix.
To be fair though, like the original Predator and the second Predator, they were VHS at home movies.
Oh, yeah.
That you'd put in and then you'd watch, and it's just like fun action movie. Like I think at the end of the day, that's all they're supposed to be. And I wish.
And I get that, but I feel like the original, and we discussed this before in the original, is it was simple in what it was. This was a freaking complicated mess. There's even parts.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I wish they just would go back to just
Right?
make a simple action movie.
Exactly. Bring it back to the basics. And I don't know if anybody noticed this, but I remember Clearly, they switched a day shoot for a night scene at the end because I forget his name, the big bad scientist guy from This Is Us. He's wearing sunglasses. Like, he's not wearing sunglasses outside, and then he goes inside the spaceship, and all of a sudden he's got sunglasses on. I'm like, is it dark in there? Like, it was night. What the hell's going on?
Yeah,
that's when because I didn't
bad.
read anything into it first, right?
All right, there's our 10 minutes. That's what we thought of Predator 2 or Predator 2018, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you later.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Lost Commentary, on Instagram at Raiders of the Lost Commentary, and like us on Facebook.
I'll be back.